Union says she still struggles with her feeling secure in her wealth, reveals her bills are split 50-50 in her household, and now she has an updated opinion of letting go of the 50-50. She talked about working so hard and paying half of the bills and always having, when you're famous, a lot of times you have a large part of your family. Unfortunately, it always happens that depend on you when you become famous. So she was like, man, with helping out all my family and contributing half to the bills, like I'm like dying over here. I can't even take like 6 months off. I gotta always jump from project to project. And then she finally came to the realization after talking with Dwayne Wade that I am freaking tired. Can you please just pay the mortgage, the whole mortgage, so I can keep that part? And he's like, I thought you just were doing that for your dignity. She's like, I was, but I don't have it anymore.
It was crazy. We got a video right here. We're gonna play the video of what Gabrielle Union said in the past and what she's saying right now. Then we're gonna let you know our two cents on the real reason why she's saying this.
I struggle with that still, just because I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I gonna have enough to hold everybody up? And everyone's like, it's coming, like, calm down. And I'm trying to find peace in the journey, not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, you better work. You gonna sleep in? Somebody might not eat. Famously said 50-50 or bust, right? And I meant that financially, spiritually, emotionally. And there's just a lot of days that I have 10% and I need him to be 90. There's days I don't have and I need him to be 100. It's a trauma response. And 50-50 is, I'm not going to be vulnerable enough to trust you with 100% of anything, not my heart, not my cash. And when I started to really address that, and I was like, do you want to pay whole mortgage? I thought I was about to die. I had such anxiety. Like, I was crying, I was shaking. And he was like, you insisted on that. He's like, I thought it made you feel better. I'm like, it did. And right now I want to take it back. Now it sounds crazy to be like, you, Mr. NBA superstar who made a bazillion more amount of money than I do, can pay the mortgage, because I hate the feeling of releasing that to someone. And you release that to someone, chaos can happen. And it's brought us closer because he knows it's not about whether he can afford it. It's being vulnerable enough to be open enough to know that I'm okay. I'm okay as his wife. He's okay as my husband. I'm okay in this family. I'm okay in this home. I deserve it. And so I'm trying to expand my heart, expand all of the notions of what vulnerability can look like.
As you heal, as you evolve, as you lean more into vulnerability, you can also change how you feel about something, and it's okay. Sometimes when we build those walls up for safety or to keep what we think is harm out, we can also keep love out too.
Exactly. So I mean, with hearing this
I
situation,
think it was a relationship power play, man.
uh-huh.
I mean, like with her paying the bills, like you see in that first interview, she was like, I'm a head of household as well
Hmm.
because she was paying half of the bills.
Yeah.
So she wanted to be able to be like, no matter any decision, she could say, well, I pay half the bills, so I get an equal say. And I feel like she felt like if she wasn't doing that, she wouldn't get equal say and just have to be submissive. And she didn't want to do that. She wanted to be stubborn.
I
But
honestly feel like a lot of women work just so they can pay the bills, so just so they can have enough money to contribute to the bills, so they can say this. Because,
yeah,
and I feel like a lot of this is a trauma response. Because a lot of people, not even women, a lot of people don't want to work. Like, I don't know anybody that if you were born, if somebody told you like you have to work for the rest of your life, sign this dotted line here, do you agree to that? Nobody wants to do that. Like, I know so many men that on the drop of a dime, if you told them that I make X amount of money, I will take care of you, I will pay your bills, you don't have to worry about anything, and you get this man an allowance, he will quit his job. Cause I don't want to wake up and go to work in the morning. I mean, it's cool. I understand this. I understand there's a purpose, something to do. I can be doing a lot of other things with my time.
Oh, co-host, you don't tell me you're cougar hunting again.
Nah,
Trying to find that sugar mama.
I've never been that lucky. I'm not the type. I've never been that type of guy to be like I've always had my own. Like I had my own apartment, had my own car, had to own did all my own, did all this stuff on my own. So like me being one of them dudes that's like a moocher, like oh yeah, let me sleep on your couch, and like I can't see myself doing it. Like I do too much stuff. Like I do a podcast, like oh yeah, I sleep on your couch, but oh yeah, at this time, like at what 2, 3 in the morning, like oh me and Gavin finna do this podcast, and like you gotta be cool with that. Like I mean, some girls will. But eventually she gonna be like, no, like it's gonna be like the whole Haley situation. Like if I make her bet mad that day, like I probably won't even be able to record because her apartment, the name of her, but her name on the lease, my name on the lease.
Yeah, like if you had a girlfriend living with you and she was paying half the rent.
Yeah, no, not she was paying half the rent. Like
or
she was
contributing
paying,
anything to the rent.
No, like the dudes that get lucky, like the dudes that like sleep on
the ones the dudes that like you see the memes where it's like they're always cheating in their girl's Kia.
Yes,
they're driving and they're always pulling up, and it's like in a car that's not even in their like baby mama's car.
Mm-hmm.
Or those dudes that like they have like multiple baby mamas and they just live off of them.
Yes.
They're always driving one of their baby mama's cars. It's crazy because it's like you see that here and you see that overseas. Supposedly in Japan, like some dudes got it like that it's so scarce to find men, like good men there, that like some even women will like what's it called, like they'll share a man, like he'll have like 5 relationships and like they all just take care of him. That's the culture we need to adopt in America.
Because you do it.
Yeah,
you could do that.
If I had a famous wife, I would have no problem. Sign me up with an actress wife. I'll be hanging out every day. I'll get really good at editing. I'll do all her Instagram posts. I do not care.
Okay. I see that. But I mean, with this whole situation, like I never understood the reason why Gabrielle Union said this. Like, Dwayne Wade's net worth right now is $170 million, and her net worth is only 40. So he's making like 20 times more than you. I mean, like I understand, like Gabrielle Union was the ish back in the day with like Bring It On and Bad Boys and doing all these movies and everything. But it's 2025. Like I looked at her new stuff. She doing like new stuff like Riff Raff. She has a movie called Riff Raff that grossed like $1.7 million. They ain't really.
Is it with Riff Raff?
No, it's not.
It's just the name of the movie.
It's the name of the movie. She did Space Cadet. It got a 27 on Rotten Tomato. Is that good? 27%?
Yeah.
On Rotten Tomato?
That's great.
For real?
No.
This is for real, God.
The last good movie she was in was Cradle to the Grave with DMX.
That's long as hell.
I know. And they probably paid her
they probably paid her
nothing back then.
Exactly. So, I mean, with Gabrielle Union saying...
I just think it's crazy. I think that's it at the end of the day, is that, like you said, like, she was, like, spending money like crazy just so...
I mean, yeah, she's taking, when she was making a lot of money, she said it then, also back then, like, she was going half on the rent, and she was taking care of family members also, but the movies ain't coming like that like it used to, so she can probably help with the family, but she can't pay half the rent.
And it's funny because it's like she asked Dwayne Wade to take over the mortgage, and she's like, he made 20 times more than I did, and it's like, he did, but he's also not getting any NBA checks anymore.
True.
You know,
but he's still on TV. I mean, ESPN checks.
Oh, he always tried to do those goofy game shows.
That goofy game show
what
stuff.
What was that show called? Where they're like the ball and the cube? Mm-hmm. Was it called Cube?
Probably Cube. So, but he's always going to get money. He's always going to get that money. He's always going to get like residual checks from like NBA.
Oh, he still has a shoe deal with
money. He gets a lot of checks.
Was it
a lot
the way
of
of Wade's?
Yeah.
With is it Lening? I think it's a Chinese basketball.
Exactly.
He has a lifetime deal with them, and that even though he's retired, they're still releasing shoes with his name on it.
Exactly. So, I mean, with this whole 50-50, could you go 50-50 with the girl?
I've never had that opportunity
really?
to go 50-50. I've never had a girl make as much as me, so
have you ever
could go 50-50. So, like, every girl... I've ever dated made less than me, so it's like you always.
But have you talked to? Okay, so every girl that you talk to made less than you. But have they told you about their ex boyfriend and how they did everything for them and the ex boyfriend did nothing? Or did they ever paint? Or did they ever paint that
Nah,
picture?
they don't.
Or that
I don't. No, I mean,
he was one of those toxic boyfriends? Don't talk about your past.
no, they could talk about the past, but it's just like most girls ain't really talking about that much. The most of the time they talk about is like if they were like an asshole, if like they were, kind of abusive, like
Yeah, like they
if they
did.
yelled at him or stuff,
Hmm.
or
Or like he
or
didn't
it,
work, or
or
he
it,
slept on the couch, or all he did was play the game. I paid all the
no,
rent. I paid the
I
bills.
mess with uh shorties that look good. When you mess with shawties on the bottom of the barrel, they tend to put up with that. But usually the women that I was dating never put up with that, so they would never saying that they were dealing with homeless men. But yeah, no, they wouldn't really bring that up. They would just usually the only thing they bring up is a trauma, or if they would be like, oh, they didn't pay attention, they would like forget my birthday, or every gift was late, or like
Hmm.
stuff like that. But nothing really, or like, oh, we didn't even like he didn't really even take me out like that. They would just complain about stuff like that.
Like those small things.
Hmm. But usually I'd be like, I don't care about that. Why are you telling me for?
I told you my coast is
Well,
toxic.
that's the past.
My coast.
We eating shrimp today. What are you talking about?
My coast is toxic. He's
We
gonna
eating shrimp and lobster.
shrimp and lobster every
Shut
day.
up and be happy. I tell you, get a girl a seafood boil, she'll be happy that whole day.
Facts.
Especially if you got leftovers and she gets to take it home and then have it for like second meal later.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna be happy the whole day. That is the cheat to have a good day. You get it, do like a little brunch
I
spot.
see why they like you, Gavin. I see why. You buy them seafood boils every day.
Not every day. Maybe every weekend. No, every other weekend.
That's hard, but y'all comment down below, how do you feel about this whole Gabrielle Union situation? Do you feel like she's only doing this because the money drying up, and but if she was still getting that money, she still will be keeping up with this front of, oh, I'm gonna pay 50-50?
I think it's just a power play. She just didn't want it to be like I have the same say because I pay the same, and like she's so ego tripped on having the same level of power that she was literally like putting herself in financial ruin, even though her husband made like
Triple
4 or 5 times whatever it is.
doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. That's crazy. I
It's
don't know.
trauma from the past. I mean, it's how it is. I mean, everybody's scared from what happened to them in their past. Like, I mean, people had ex girlfriends or ex boyfriends from like kindergarten, first, second grade, and like you like, I never trust again. So you just never trust again.
I just think people see like the reality kind of what it is with relationships.
It
Like
can end.
even when I was like growing up in middle school, a lot of the kids I went to with middle school and high school, like their parents weren't together. So it was like already rare at that point. So, it's just there's people are afraid to have like that level of commitment because you don't really see as, people being married for 20, 30, 40, 50 years like seen in the past. It's like the marriage and divorce rates are like the highest that they've ever been.
True.
Like it's like over 50% that most people are gonna get a divorce.
Yeah, you've been
They
in a
get married.
two-parent house. You've been in a two-parent household, so you already know how it is. Like, you know how much BS each person's gonna have to take in order to basically, like, in order to keep the marriage going. Like, they both go, they both eat at times. Like, you seen both times where like this person, like your mom's side, like she took a whole bunch of BS, and then at one point you say, oh man, that's messed up, but then you seen the tides turn that your dad took a whole bunch of BS, and then you seen it been.
Yeah, it's a lot of compromise. I feel like to people today, like they don't want to like really have that like teamwork and like working through stuff. They feel like there's so many like TikToks and short videos that say like choose yourself, queen, choose you over anything, and it's like at any initial problem, they just want to break off rather than work through it. And I think that's the difference between people today and people in the past. And I think cheating has always happened since the dawn of time, but the accessibility of people with social media has just made cheating so crazy. Like older people now, like don't really use social media that like they didn't grow up with it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But especially anybody now, like everyone since that's being born now, has had social media like their whole life. Like I didn't even have social media my whole life. Like we had the beginnings of social media where it was only on your home computer when I was in middle school and high school, and it was like smartphones really didn't come out till like the end of high school or right when I went into college. Like I literally went into my first year of college the year that Instagram came out. So like I was the first group of people to go to college when Instagram.
I was the
And
first
like
one to go to with Facebook.
I got off of Facebook fast, man. I got off of Facebook already before I even graduated high school. When I started seeing like my like friends, neighbors trying to add me on Facebook, I was like, "There's too many old people on
Yeah, I got
here."
off. Yeah, by that time I was already. I mean, no,
I
I
just
was.
I stopped using it at all. I still have my Facebook account, but it's like I haven't posted in like 15 years, 10 years, whatever it is.
Basically how it is. I mean, that's basically how it goes nowadays. But once again, y'all comment down below how you feel about this whole situation. Do you feel like the fact that Gabrielle Union isn't making as much money as she used to make, that's why she's giving up this whole 50-50 thing, or what? But moving on here, man.
She wants to save her coin,
For a rainy day.
and
For a rainy day.
no, I mean I don't know, but she'll be fine. She'll be all right. Moving on to the next topic.
Wait. Are you letting your girls save money for a Are you doing joint bank accounts? Are you doing?
No,
You don't believe in joint bank accounts?
I've never had to join a bank account.
Okay.
No.
All right, moving on. Let's go.
You are not having access to my money. Women are spiteful. Women are spiteful. Unless we married, we are not having a joint bank account. That is, fellas, learn that one. Never, ever, ever have a joint bank account. That's what Cash App is for. She needs some money, hit her on the Cash App. Hit her on the Apple Pay, whatever you're using these days. You can send the money electronically. She does not need to have direct access to all your funds. And if she's like either have a joint account or I'm ending this, you make a joint account that's a new account, and you only put a little bit of money in there at a time, and you keep all your money in your real account.
Exactly. Give it like $20, $40. That'd be all right.
Because you'll wake up one day and it'll be gone.